Everyone in the restaurant stopped talking when the tall, broad-shouldered man walked in. His aura commanded attention, and whispers spread like wildfire. That's him, the ruthless CEO, the single dad who built an empire but trusts no one. What no one knew, not even the girl sitting nervously at the corner table, was that tonight his guarded heart would be shaken, not by the woman he expected, but by the sister who wasn't supposed to be there. And you won't believe how everything changed when she tried to leave a broken bar. Alina had never been the kind of girl to fit in with her wealthy sister's world. She was quiet, modest, and always overshadowed by her glamorous sibling, Amira, who had been set up on a blind date with one of the most powerful men in the city. But at the last moment, Amira refused to go as she had other plans, and with little concern for Alina, she shoved her into the role. "Go in my place," Amira scoffed. "You won't last 5 minutes with him anyway." With trembling hands, Alina entered the luxurious restaurant, her simple dress contrasting against the glittering chandeliers and finely dressed patrons. She sat at the table, her mind screaming that this was a mistake. "He'll see right through me. I don't belong here." She planned to excuse herself politely, leave before he arrived, and pretend this never happened. But fate had different plans. When the CEO, Ryan Malik, approached, Alina felt the air shift. His sharp suit, piercing eyes, and cold expression made her want to shrink in her seat. He looked like a man who could crush someone with a single word. "You're late," he said sternly, sliding into the chair across from her. His tone was commanding, but his glassy broken bar it lingered, curious, almost as if something about her didn't match what he expected. Alina stammered, "I think there's been a mistake." "I shouldn't," but before she could finish, Ryan raised a hand, silencing her. "Sit," he ordered, his eyes narrowing. "For the first time, I want to see where this goes." It was as if he sensed her desire to escape, and that made him unwilling to let her leave. Alina's heart pounded. She wasn't Amira. She didn't know how to charm men, didn't know how to play the games her sister excelled at. So, she's simply a broken bar. Spoke from the heart. She admitted she wasn't the sister he was supposed to meet, that she wasn't rich or powerful, that she worked part-time jobs to help her family. She expected him to laugh, to walk away, to call her pathetic. Instead, something unexpected happened. Ryan listened. For the first time in years, the CEO who had built walls around himself, who trusted no one but his young daughter, found himself drawn in by honesty. Alina's nervous laughter, her wide, unguarded eyes, and her sincerity touched something in him he didn't know was still alive. But it wasn't easy. The evening was filled with challenges. Other diners whispered when they noticed Ryan's date wasn't the glamorous socialite they expected. Even the waiter hesitated, treating Alina like she didn't belong. Ryan's face darkened at their disrespect, and with one icy glare, he silenced the entire room. "She's with me," he said firmly, making it clear she deserved her place at that table. Still, Alina felt overwhelmed. She excused herself to the restroom, tears threatening to fall. "Why am I here? He's powerful, wealthy, untouchably broken bar and I'm nobody." She almost slipped out through the back door, but when she turned, Ryan was already there, waiting, his daughter by his side. He introduced Alina to the little girl, Lena, who clung shyly to her father. And in that tender moment, when Alina knelt to talk to the child, Ryan saw something he hadn't seen in years: a softness, a kindness that money couldn't buy. His heart, hardened by betrayal and loneliness, felt something break open. From that night on, Ryan didn't let her disappear. He sought her out, again and again, despite Alina's protests. She insisted she wasn't good enough, that she didn't belong in his world, but Ryan countered with patience, determination, and a truth she couldn't ignore: "You're exactly what my world needs." Alina faced ridicule from her sister, scorn from people who thought she was chasing wealth, and doubt within herself. But through it all, Ryan stood by her, showing not just his power as a CEO, but his heart as a father and as a man who had finally found someone real. By the end, Alina learned that love wasn't about wealth, power, or appearance, as it was about honesty, kindness, and courage to be yourself. And Ryan, the feared CEO, discovered that sometimes, The person you never expected is the one who changes everything. And so, the poor girl who was never meant to be very broken bar became the one he refused to let go of.